The Mazda 5, it has some quirky flowing body panels, but that's obviously not the main selling point. It also has rear sliding doors, which means you don't have to worry about your children bashing other cars when getting in and out in tight parking spaces. And this car is absolutely ideal for large families because, as you can see, there are 2 rows of chairs. Obviously, an adult wouldn't want to travel too far back here, but it'd be more than adequate for children. When not in use, the rear seats can be folded away into the floor to create a large luggage area with a secret compartment. You can slide the middle row forward for more boot space, or backwards if you prefer to fly business class. And while the centre seat is too small for adults, it can be folded away and its back used as an armrest. You can also flip it on its side for access to the rear. Underneath the other seat base is a drinks table with a handy bin. And finally, you can fold the rear seats down to create a large, flat, low bay. Here in the front, there's lots of adjustment in the seats too. I mean, look how far you can slide the driver's seat. And you can jack it up so high that it doesn't matter if you're small, you'll still be able to see over the dash. You can also alter the height and reach of the steering wheel, and being a Mazda, equipment is generous, and standard safety features include dual front, side and full length curtain airbags, plus there's ISOFIX fittings for 2 child seats. All 5s also come with DSC anti-skid control as standard, although you probably never need it because there's actually loads of grip. In fact, while we're on the subject, I have to say that as far as MPVs go, this is one of the most fun to drive. The steering, it's sharp, it's accurate. When you go around corners, well, the body hardly leans at all. But despite this surprisingly impressive handling, there's no trade-off in comfort because this Mazda always feels nice and composed no matter what road surface you're driving on. The engine in this car is a 2-litre petrol, and it's smooth, it's quiet and it's reasonably economical, and all this means that the 5 is a really good long distance cruiser. Although I have to say that at motorway speeds you can get a little bit of wind noise and tyre noise, which means that you might want to turn the stereo up. And that brings me on to this car's downsides, and personally I don't find the driver's seat that particularly comfortable because the side bolsters on the seat base seem to grip your thighs a little bit enthusiastically. And no, before you ask, I haven't got a big bottom. Another problem is that a lot of the materials in the cabin feel a bit low rent, and they're certainly not as nice as the soft touch items you get in many of the 5's European rivals, such as the Citroën C4 Picasso. Another problem is that there's not really many useful stowage cubbies. You don't get any on the dash, for instance. All you get is a mediocre sized glove box and door bins and a sunglasses holder. Wow. And finally, if I'm honest, that small middle seat that I mentioned earlier means that really the 5's more of a 6 rather than a 7-seater, but then that doesn't really matter if you only have 4 children. I want an MPV that's practical, reliable and surprisingly good fun to drive.